mystery. And she's throwing a fuller house party with Jodie Sweetin and Andrea Barber. Plus, the jury foreman in the shocking mistrial of Walter Scott's murder is here live to break his silence on what left the jury deadlocked. Here come Hot Topics with Whoopi, Candace Bure, Joy Behar, Sarah Haynes, and Jedediah Bila. Now, let's get things started.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, hi Candace, you're back.
Hi, Whoopi.
You want to start off things, talking and stuff?
You know, I do.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
I'm very happy to be back, but thank you. Thank you. But it's a little bittersweet for me today because I'm announcing that I will be leaving The View. Thank you. Thank you. It wasn't an easy decision, but before I started The View, I had already had my commitments to Fuller House and my work with the Hallmark Channel and Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, and because of the success of those, my commitments have become even greater with those shows. And the commute of going West Coast to East Coast every single week for me has been tough on me and hard for my family as well. And I want to make sure that I am able to spend as much time with my children and invest in all the projects that I do to the fullest extent. So I thank everybody. Whoopi, Joy, I particularly want to thank you for welcoming me to this table, and I've learned so much for you, and I'm so grateful for you and Sarah and Jed. You guys have become, and Paula and Raven and Sunny and Michelle, everyone. It's been really wonderful, and I'm grateful, and to Barbara Fadita as well, and Candy Carter and Brian Ted. I'll miss you most of all.
Oh, he's gonna cry.
Okay.
And we will miss you, for sure.
Thank
we
you.
will absolutely
Thank
miss
you.
You were doing too much.
It's a lot. Joy would tell me this every day.
She's in Tokyo one day, she's in Berlin the next
When
day.
you don't get to see your husband or your kids.
Right.
I'm like,
I tried to be Superwoman, but I'm gonna not try anymore.
good for you.
And, you know, with all the sex talk we do, you miss your husband.
It's true. He's watching the show.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
okay. So, President-elect Donald Trump's administration picks keep on coming. Oklahoma General Scott Pruitt will run the Environmental Protection Agency. He is a climate change skeptic and a close ally of the fossil fuel industry. He's also currently suing the EPA over regulations against greenhouse gas emissions and the Clean Water Act. So I'm laughing because it's like, it's sort of, in a funny way, it reminds me of a Mel Brooks film. I mean, it's like, who's the last person you would put in the EPA? This guy. You know, so, I mean, is it a good choice? Is it a bad choice? I don't know.
It's not just a bad choice. It's a horrible choice.
But
It's a horrible choice.
But it's something you could see coming, because Trump had said all the way through the campaigning that he wanted to dismantle the EPA, and what better way than to put someone on there that doesn't see its purpose anyway?
Well, then why don't they just call it the Environmental Pollution Agency instead of the Environmental Protection Agency? Because he is going to dismantle everything in place. The air you breathe, the water you drink, I mean, what he's done in Oklahoma is not that great either. I mean, look, I don't understand why he met with Al Gore. What was the purpose of that?
Just this guy Attorney General in Oklahoma is responsible for doing what's best for the people of Oklahoma. Just some reminders: a quarter of all jobs in Oklahoma are tied to the energy industry. This is a guy who his job has been to protect energy-related jobs. So there's no guarantee that what he's been doing in Oklahoma is what he's going to do for the whole country. But the argument about the environment is not always about, okay, we don't care about the environment, this guy doesn't care about the environment. What he has said on many occasions is it's not a federal issue, it's a state issue. And the reason is you have this bureaucracy in Washington, this EPA that makes rules for the entire country. And that bureaucracy isn't in touch with what's going on in these individual states sometimes. And a lot of times,
wait a minute,
the individual
so the air in Oklahoma doesn't go over to the next state?
It's not just about air, though. It's not just about air. It's about,
what you're saying.
it's not just about air. It's about if there is a technology like, for example, some people advocate for clean coal or for fracking. There's many scientists on that side of the aisle that feel that that is clean and environmentally friendly. And there are many people in those individual states that say, yes, we want that. We want those jobs kept in the state.
Okay.
We believe this isn't going to be damaging.
There were 907 earthquakes in Oklahoma last year, and they say that they were caused by oil and gas production. How is he helping Oklahoma?
Who says
The
it's called
EPA,
by?
I guess.
The EPA, which not everybody believes is a sound basis for everything, because many believe that EPA is a giant group of bureaucrats that make decisions for states that aren't necessarily grounded in what's best for them.
Oh, but he's not, I was going to piggyback, he's not denying climate change. He's saying that there are many scientists that continue to disagree on the extent of global warming and its connection. So I think this guy could bring a balance between the two.
Like he's kind of saying that
The majority of scientists disagree with that. There might be a few that don't, but...
The thing that bothers me about this is, I'm sorry, that you can't deny that every state, regardless, is entitled to clean water. Every state is entitled to clean water, and one of the reasons the EPA was created was because businesses sometimes forget that the people who live around those businesses are drinking the water they're polluting. So it's part of, I hate when people say we're just going to dismantle it. You can't just dismantle it. A lot of things are put in place because business didn't do it. That's why the federal government got involved. If business actually was more friendly to the people in the neighborhoods and the towns that they work in, and that they're, I get that everybody wants to, have their people make the money, the people that put in for your company, but there is also a human cost. And what business oftentimes forgets is the human cost. And it's something we saw in Flint, and we saw when people are in the pocket of the company, they don't always have the best interest of the neighborhood.
That's right.
I agree.
So that's why, that's my biggest concern about that.
I think you're right, though. I think that's what the EPA was originally intended to do, but I don't know that that's necessarily what many feel it's doing now. And I think the conflict is people aren't saying, I'm not saying, and many agree with me, aren't saying get the government out of the way. What they're saying is some of this rests with the state government and not the federal government, because it's overstuffed.
Pollution is a global problem. It's not a state problem.
We don't regulate pollution coming from China. We don't.
As the Paris Accords going on, where they are talking to each other. China, Russia, we're all talking to each other.
And we can be involved
in
that.
And this guy's going the opposite direction.
But also,
not necessarily.
I'm going to bring it back to the land, because we had here. I'm trying to remember exactly. There was a cluster. They started finding cancer clusters in places, and discovered that oftentimes it's linked to the water, it's linked to the soil, it's linked to stuff. The EPA did that. The businesses involved are still being begged to clean up the areas. So, I understand wanting to make a balance. I'm not sure this is the most, I know you're doing this, but I'm just going to finish this. I'm not sure that he's there may be better balances out there as opposed to this guy who has seemed to be more, and I love business. I have a business, but I also am aware that business has to be in harmony with the people that in the town that they're serving. We'll be back.
Topics on The View are only getting hotter.
Here we go.
And everyone wants to join this party.
I'm a big fan of this show. This is like, I really made it.
You made it.
baby. That's why they call it The View.
The View.
The View.
The View.
The View, y'all.
On ABC. Going full. Fangirl with Candace when New Kids on the Block stop by Fuller House.
Apparently, Oprah Winfrey didn't mince words when she saw her friend Gayle King on TV and sent Gayle's assistant a note reading, "Please tell Gayle I'm on the treadmill and it's hard to focus with the circuits around your neck, Gayle." Because Gayle was wearing some kind of, necklace that made Oprah feel some kind of way. Much as Joy is wearing that same kind of necklace for me.
Is it too much?
No.
It's very like, yeah.
It's too much?
No, I like it.
It's cute.
I thought it was rather attractive.
You know I'm honest. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, well, the EP today, the executive producer of the show, had to weigh in and put her 2 cents in on my necklace today, too.
Oh, she doesn't
Yeah, but
mince
she's
words.
very fashion savvy, so that's a plus. She is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she got all the taste in the world.
I need my...
Okay.
I need
Do you
my
have a
best friend.
You have friends who do that to you? I'm careful, I know. I don't care.
I wish people were more honest with me, actually, like especially in my family,
Right.
because I think people are so nice around me that I once had these cargo pants that I loved because they were beaten in and they made me feel skinny, but they were a bit Bob the Builder-esque. And so when I finally got rid of them, my best friend, my now husband, and my brother were like, "Oh my God, I hated those pants." And I was like, "Could you not have told me when I was wearing them out in public all the time because I felt cute in
It's
them?"
a matter of taste. Like, some people look at this dress and say how attractive that is, and others would say, did you just escape from Alcatraz?
I'm making the Hamburglar great again, okay?
My family tells me straight up. My mother, in fact, sometimes we'll have a really great debate here, and I'll text my mom, and I'll say, "Did you hear what I said?" And she goes, "That top, though." And she'll put, she sometimes screenshots it, and she'll be like, "Or my hair, if there's a piece of hair. I could have the most beautiful hairstyle. If there's one stray hair, my mother will find that stray hair, and she'll say, but bottom left, just move your hair." While I'm on air on live TV, sometimes I get these
The fact that you're reading it is shocking.
No, I used to. But she's a good critic because, you know what? I look back at the tape and I say, she was right. That dress did not fit right. And then I got to...
I want to know what people will think of my dress.
Oh, you
one way or the other.
Well, there's nothing to say wrong about that.
Yeah, because it's
Really?
classic.
Yeah.
You look great
What
in
do
the
you
dress.
say
I was
about
waiting
this
for a good
dress?
joke, some Grecian something.
You have to give her material.
No.
It's cute.
That's cute. That
It's
was
cute.
This is cute also. It's just,
It's a bit prison-esque.
it's like a felon would wear that,
It's a bit bad girl. Oh, they're taking a shot at Candy Carter, the mince words girl.
Well, let's see what kind of taste
I
she's
hope
got.
she has a big necklace
There
on.
she is.
Oh, yeah,
I see some girls or something.
But it's funny. It's not the fashion
You
when you
look
said...
naked in there. You need to put something else on. As a matter of fact, I'm going to send you my tree skirt.
Does that go under a tree?
Yes.
It doubles.
It can.
It doubles.
It can.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Multitask.
Why not? It multitasks.
No.
This is what I designed it. Yeah. It can.
That's my favorite
It doubles
one.
as everything. It's crazy.
For you.
So, a very deep investigation by relationship website Your Tango claims that your choice of underwear, we're very deep today, reveals your true personality. So you guys read this. Did the article speak to you guys? Because, let's see, what do they say? Granny panties. Who wears granny panties?
I do.
Joy,
right.
I'll give you one guess, and I won't point fingers.
Well, it says
I'm a
that
granny, so why wouldn't I wear
you
granny pants?
Say
You wore 'em before
exactly
you were a
what is on your mind, and you're not fake, and this makes you intimidating in some ways.
Yeah, the panties make
And
you
it's
intimidating.
truly a pleasure to be around. Truly a pleasure to be around because we always know you're true to yourself, no matter the company, according to your drawers.
Well, that's true. I am who I am.
I'm a bikini brief.
You are who
Okay,
you
so
are.
you're adorable
It's
and
like-
sweet, and it sickens people.
I can vouch for that.
You don't take yourself too seriously, or anybody else for that matter, which makes you fun to be around and easy to talk to. You can actually get in the way unintentionally. You're physically active type, and you love getting messy and creating.
How about Jodie? She's got commando written all over her,
That's
doesn't
not
she?
true.
She's not.
That is not true.
What are you?
I am a, look, you know what? I'm a seamless panty girl. Seamless
so you're
style.
all business, even when you're at play. You have an end goal at all times. You don't mess around at achieving them. You have a type A personality, and you love to look great wherever you go. Professional, poised, polished. You're on fleck at all times.
That's you,
What
Jen.
are you, baby?
I'm a thong.
You're a thong.
They clap it for a thong.
You love a crowd. You love a crowd, and being ignored is pretty much a death sentence to you. You feel comfortable in your own skin, so comfortable that it doesn't matter if you're thin. If you're so thin you disappear, or incredibly robust, you still own whatever you wear. Your chutzpah is very sexy.
You also said sometimes, though, you overschedule yourself. Yes, I do.
It was in the panties.
It's all about the pants. Oh, my God. Okay, so that's our drawers.
What about you? What about you?
We'll be right back. Hey, Candace, you got something to say?
I do. Attention, all holiday shoppers. This is the gift for anyone on your list. The OtterBox Universe case system protects your phone and lets you attach other accessories directly to the case, like selfie sticks, batteries, speakers, lenses. The possibilities are endless. And thanks to OtterBox, members of our studio audience are getting a $100 gift card.
A mom who took her 2-year-old to church for the first time and watched the child squirm in the seat before completely losing it and throwing a huge fit, wrote a blog wondering what the right age to effectively introduce faith to a child is. Me personally, I think once you can communicate with them, like when they recognize in your face that you really mean stop moving. Because a 2-year-olds, they're like, I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm 2.
Yeah.
But, you know, one...
But it's about religion. When do you teach them religion, right?
Well, when you can have a conversation with them, because if you can teach them stuff, but if they're not receptive, because they're like looking over here, they're doing this, and the fingers in their nose, it's not going to work. So maybe you want to wait till maybe they're 4, so you're sure they understand what you're saying to them.
What do you
I
think?
think it depends what kind of church you go to, because my church, they have the nursery, there's an infant room there for every different age, kind of like school. So I started taking my kids as soon as they were babies because I wanted to go to church, and if I didn't have a sitter on Sunday mornings, I'm happy that my church provided the room for me that would watch my kids.
To do that for workers.
That's a good idea.
But would you take the baby? Would you take a baby
in there? Again, depends what kind of church. Because I know that some that don't have it, it's like Jesus wants us to be like the little children in church, to learn and listen with that enthusiasm, and not have those preconceived notions, to just to listen.
Yeah.
And so, you know, sometimes I guess when you hear screaming kids, it can kind of get annoying. But in church, I'm like, that should be the place where we should all be happy about it, because there are kids in there.
I have a funny story about it. Remember that I told this to you once before. So my cousin's kid goes for Christmas, and they see Jesus is born.
Right.
He's a little kid, right? And Jesus is born, and they're singing and everything else, and he's so happy, this kid. Easter comes, and they take him to church. Jesus is on the cross. The kid goes, Jesus died? So what I'm making my point here is that it's confusing to some children.
Yeah.
So maybe you have to wait.
Yeah, I remember my brother actually had an occasion at a children's time with the minister where the minister was asking little kids what love is, and he raised his hand. He's like, it's when 2 people kiss naked under the blankets. And he was getting ready to share a story about Jesus, and I don't think that was the direction it was going.
Or under the tree skirt, as it were.
Well, it does make a little humorous addition to the sermon that might be serious.
I went to Catholic school, and we used to have to go to church as part of the class. And every week, my dad and I would go, and there would be a kid every Sunday. We went at the same time that would scream the alphabet. He had to scream it. He would go up in the center. He was a performer. He was a born performer, and he didn't understand why he couldn't. And his mother would be like, "Get over here!" And he would be like, "A, B, C, D," and he We put on a whole show, and I just thought maybe he's a little young, just a little.
If you're taking a baby into church, you know, nobody wants to sit there, and sometimes churches go on and on and on, depending on where you are, and you're just like, oh my God!
Yeah.
You know, so figure if you're feeling that maybe a 2-year-old, you know, might be feeling the same thing, because you can't expect them to stop being 2.
Yeah.
I like the black churches. They sing. It's entertaining.
Yeah, that's
you know, you can bring the kids to go.
Yeah.
You gotta go to that one uptown. What's the name of that church that does the singing?
Why I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Because you've been there.
Be joyful, not boring and long.
Exactly.
And
I'll be right back.
Next, the jury foreman in the mistrial in Walter Scott's murder is live on The View to reveal why the jury was torn in half about the verdict.
Long 5 weeks and a missed opportunity for justice. Missed opportunity to heal a lot of wounds in this country. Missed opportunity to remind the good officers that put on that badge that they aren't Michael Slager.
That was the attorney of Walter Scott's family after a mistrial was declared in the shooting death of Scott by policeman Michael Slager. A lot of people who watched the video of Slager shooting him in the back from about 18 feet away while Scott fled the scene were also shocked by the ruling, and the jury foreman, Joyce Montgomery, is breaking his silence about what had the jury deadlocked right now. So, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for coming. So here's what I want to say. We saw this man shot 5 times in the back as he ran away. So on video, what did we who only saw that, what did we miss that led to the mistrial?
There was so much information that was released unto us for the past 5 weeks sitting in the courtroom. We had an expert witness come in. We had forensic individuals come in. So what you missed was the background of the information. Everyone saw the video, but no one knew what happened prior to the video. No one knew about the quote-unquote scuffle or fight that everybody is still debating about. So that's what's all the information that was presented to us by the prosecutor and the defense.
I see. But you guys had so much trouble. You had 4 days of deliberation. You were deadlocked. Take us behind the scenes. What happened in the backstage there?
Well, I want to bring that particular deadlock myth to an end. I mean, because we love the media. You know, we need the media. We need the news and things of that nature. But the news kind of misconstrued something on Friday evening. We weren't quote unquote at a deadlock. We had 5 individuals that made up their mind in one way. And we had 6 individuals who were undecided. And then we had 1 individual who was just gung-ho that he is not changing his mind no matter what. But as the foreman of the jury, it was my duty to make sure that the 6th individual had a time to come back into that deliberation room and make a conscious decision on whether they wanted to go this way or whether they wanted to go that way. So that's why I presented to the judge, just give us 1 more day.
But you initially wanted to convict him of murder charge, right?
Absolutely.
But then you changed your mind. Why?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you do that?
Due to the fact that what Michael Slater did wasn't malicious.
It wasn't malicious.
It was not malicious, and I stand.
So that would be manslaughter then?
It would be voluntary manslaughter based on the law.
I see.
It would be voluntary manslaughter.
So you changed your mind that it wasn't malicious based on what you were saying?
Based on the evidence that was presented. I went there with an open mind.
Dorsey, you mentioned that it was reported that there was 1 juror holding on, and you described kind of a split jury. Was it clear from the beginning that you guys were never going to agree, or did a lot change?
A lot changed. When the evidence was given to us in the courtroom, we couldn't touch it. It wasn't tangible. So when we got back there and we were in deliberation, we were able to look at forensic information. We were able to touch the taser. We were able to feel the gun. We were able to look at the probes and the wires and things of that nature. And so even then I began to say, hold on a minute, something is not quite right, because you can't go in there making a decision on what you feel out of your emotions. And I think that's what a lot of us went in there with our emotions. But I told them we have to stop and pull our emotions up out of this and look at the facts. And that's what I based my decision on, the facts.
I want to ask you about former Officer Slager, because when he testified, he said that he was in total fear of his life. Did you believe him?
What is fear? That's my question. What is fear?
Well, and that's interesting that you bring that up, because 9 hours into your deliberations, your jury sent a note to the judge that was presiding asking for the difference between fear and passion. Based on what you're saying now, was it fear? Why was that an important note, the difference between fear and passion, in terms of deciding anything about this case?
The jurors wanted to have a clear understanding and make a decision, because we're just not making a decision on what lunch I'm going to have or what breakfast we're going to eat. We're making a decision on someone's life and their livelihood. And so we want to make sure that, I didn't go to school for criminal justice. I don't work in law on a perpetual basis. So I wanted to make sure that every decision that we made collectively was based on the law and not our emotions. I keep saying that, emotions, because that's what many people think, that we were in there based on our emotions. I had to pull my emotions out of it, because if I went in there emotionally, it could have gone a totally different way.
Did that make the difference for you, that distinction that they drew between fear and passion? Was that the turning point for you?
That was the turning point for me, because based on murder means he did something malicious. He didn't do anything malicious. He'd have passion mean for that moment, and I'm paraphrasing, that moment I had a I was disturbed in my reason for that moment. It could have been 5 seconds, it could have been 0.5 seconds, it could have been 3 minutes, but for that moment I had a disturbance in my reason, in my rationality, and that's what happened. That's what happened with Michael Slater. That's my opinion. Everybody else may not agree with me, but then, I was the foreman.
So on a panel of 12 jurors, you were the only black representative. There were 11 other jurors. Do you think that this was an issue?
I don't believe that was an issue inside the courtroom, inside the deliberation room. I believe that might have been an issue for the nation. But for me and for those who were inside there, sometimes you have to get past my color. Get past who I am. Get past because my skin tone and my pigments are a little bit darker than yours. Get past that, and let's come together. I said it earlier today. The nation now, if we deal with racism head on, we have to deal with it, and not just with our African-American race and our Caucasian, but across the whole spectrum. That's what we have to, but it's something that we keep pushing under the rug, pushing under the rug. My mom teaches me something a long time ago, that you can't conquer what you don't confront.
That's right.
What do you want to say to the family of Walter Scott?
I believe to the Scott family that justice shall stand. And that's all I can say. Justice shall stand up at any given moment.
One quickly, 2 weeks into the trial, you found a note on your door saying, do the right thing. Are you nervous now that you've spoken out that there'll be some repercussions for this?
One thing about Dorsey Montgomery II, I come with a very strong personality, and it takes a whole lot to intimidate me.
But he did the right thing. He did the right thing.
It's the issue that people always have with juries. Unless you're on the jury, you don't have all the facts. And we are often looking at things from an emotional point, and because we think we're seeing something. And it's a tough gig, and I'm glad we as Americans go in and try to do our best. You want just what we got to say?
There was one jury, you said, who was not going to change his mind no matter what. So what are you supposed to do with that?
Your best. Do your best.
Thank you. That shouldn't be allowed, actually.
Thank you, Dorsey. Monica, we will be right back.
Thank you.
Hey guys, Andrea Barber and Jodie Sweetin here to talk about our upcoming season of Fuller House. Hey, wait a minute, I thought I was doing this intro. You stole my line. No, I didn't. I would never do that. How rude.
Tomorrow on The View, 'tis the season for Holiday Hot Topics. Plus, we'll be saying,
thank God it's Friday and we're here.
Oh, yeah. Because we've got Oscar-nominated Edward Norton.
We love that.
TGIF. Tomorrow on ABC.
Our next guest, because not only did I start working with them when I was 10 years old, but we all just got off an 18-hour flight from Japan, and I am still thrilled that they're here. They're here helping me start out my love life on season 2 of Fuller House.
This is super cool. Geeking out a little bit.
Sarah is geeking
Welcome to Fuller House.
Okay.
Where's Uncle Jesse?
Sarah wants
Now,
to play Michelle.
As you mentioned, you literally just came off a flight from Japan.
Did, yes.
You were where you were premiering the show. Can you tell us about the trip?
It was amazing, right?
It was, I think we all collectively fell in love with the country of Japan. It was absolutely beautiful. The people were gracious and warm and so welcoming. And I mean, it was crazy. We got off the plane to like probably 100 fans waiting for it. Like, we were like, oh my God. Like, it was really exciting. And I wish I'd,
And it was so
combed
cool.
my hair.
I know. Andrea, tell them how we met our voiceover artists.
It was incredible. We met the voice actors who did our voices in Japanese as children when we were 5 and 10. And then now, as grown women, we met them again, and they've remained friends all of these years, too. It's a very full circle moment.
They were like, you don't know how much it means to us that the show's back, because this means we're back together. It was so special.
I guess they found out, like, they were all at dinner together, just happenstance, and that's where they found out that the show was coming back, that Fuller House was coming back. So, and they were all together. So it's really great to think that, like, not only have we remained so close, but that Fuller House has kind of brought other families together around the world.
Now, the fans are freaking out about something. It was just announced that Jeff Franklin, who was the creator of Full House and Fuller House, bought the real house in San Francisco. What does that mean to you guys? Look at that. That's an icon.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you guys, seeing that and hearing that news?
It's so great that the house is back in the family again.
I know. It means we're going to have updated footage at the start of the show, too.
And a really nice place to stay when we visit San Francisco.
And I think every cast party should be there as well. But now this season focuses on the holidays and also on your love lives. Can you guys tell me what's happening with each of you?
Well, Steph gets a boyfriend this season.
Steph gets a boyfriend,
and it's a really fun character, and it's great to see Steph kind of settle down a little bit, and she's starting to find her roots kind of in the family. Yeah.
But that big surprise is that he's a gibbler.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a gibbler.
Yeah, Steph's boyfriend is Kimmy's brother. Yeah.
So now we can all Team Gibbler. Yes. Team Gibbler is back.
Now, Candace, fans have loved the DJ Steve storyline since the Full House days. You posted the picture of you and Scott. Make sure I say his name right. Weinger. Weinger? From your actual prom.
That was my actual prom, because we went on two proms together during the show, but when it was my turn for my senior prom, I didn't have a boyfriend, wasn't dating. I was like, Scott, are you available? So he went with my real prom to me. Went with, you know.
That's so cute.
I know.
Fans love this stuff, by the way. When fans see, I was a fan of this show. I'm like, I'm in a sitcom right now. But fans love this when they see, like, you know, you with, like, the character. Oh, it's just,
the history
they go
is
crazy.
rich.
I know.
It's kind of crazy how much our real lives have sort of intersected with our characters.
Yeah. Now, you guys have amazing kids in the cast right now as well. You have Michael, Sony, Elias, and you three actually started on Full House when you were so young together. Now, we found some great throwback pictures. We want to take a look, and maybe you can help us. Look at that. Look at that. What was this for, this photo?
I have no idea. This one.
Oh, where was this? Where did this?
Look at my round head and your peanut head.
I could not be more pale in that picture, and like my own shade of white.
That was at John Stamos' house for a summer barbecue.
How many people can say that?
We have one more. We have Andrea and Jodie.
Oh, we were
from Hawaii.
We were in Hawaii,
Look at that.
Oh, wait, what were we doing?
It was the frog dance.
Was it Slim?
It was our frog dance.
There was this, we saw a very unfortunate little frog that had been flattened, but he'd been flattened in this very strange little, like, pose with his feet were out in his hand. So we had this little dance that we do.
It's literally like
weird. And
When you're 8 years old, that's
I'm
really
so glad we get to bring it up 25 years later.
No, but this one, one more. Which
I like your jeans, Candace.
I think I owned it, Mom jeans, right? And your blazer is fantastic.
Being that mom before ramen was cool,
right?
You have the oversized boyfriend blazer on.
No, wait, you guys, this is the cutest part to me. Your daughters, and let me get their names, Zoe and Felicity, have made appearances in the show.
Yes, they make one appearance.
Yeah,
So sweet.
They were so excited. Zoe has been bugging me for like a season and a half now. Like, hey, Mom, when do I get to be on the show? So finally it came about that Max was having a little classroom scene, and so they were in it. And we were the stage moms and had no idea how to do it. I was like, how do we fill out the paperwork? What does this mean? I was like, we were like, I don't know. My mom always did it.
Like full circle.
Yeah, exactly. To have them there was just, it was amazing.
Now, we're ready for some entertainment. At least I know I am, and the audience is. You guys danced to The Right Stuff, as I recall, on Full House. And we want to know, will you do a little dance for us?
Before we do that, though, just the New Kids on the Block are on season 2, which is the highlight of mine and Andrea's season.
These two were
giddy teenagers, okay?
Oh my God.
13-year-old dreams came true. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
They're like our Beach Boys.
Oh my gosh.
Who's ready for the dance?
We can do the dance. Come on. Oh my goodness. Are we really doing this, Sarah? Come on. Please join.
Ready?
Sweetin and Andrea Barber, keep going. The second season of Fuller House starts streaming on Netflix tomorrow, and we'll be right back.
Tomorrow, Oscar nominee Edward Norton, plus Sarah's playing Santa and figuring out what to put under the tree for each co-host.
Hey! We're back! But you know we're going. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. We want you to have a great day, everybody, and take a little time to enjoy the view.